Hello there. So not everything is as stacked in the EU's favour as the pro-EU Rejoin campaigners would have you believe. Firstly, as ever, please kick that YouTube algorithm up the rear by giving this video a like. And I do generally upload new videos every single day, so please check back daily for new content. Now, according to the press, in the event of a hard Brexit at the end of 2020, the car maker Nissan has plans to pull out of France and increase its investment in the UK. Now, Nissan has denied this contingency plan exists, but has confirmed that it would not be able to sustain its business in both the EU and the UK in the event they ended up trading on WTO terms. But maybe shifting to the UK would be a good move, considering it might then end up on the right side of the tariff barrier to sell cars to a huge UK market that has no UK car maker of significance. After all, the costs of the likes of BMW, VW, Renault and the rest could rise considerably were we to end up slapping tariffs on them, significantly reducing competition for Nissan. Then there's the UK drive to open up the world's markets as well. Could end up being very nice for any car maker left in the UK. But any Brexit triumphalism aside, there are a couple of issues to note. The first is that the Telegraph reports that the ban on the sale of petrol and diesel cars could be brought forward 5 years to 2035. That's just 15 years away, making investing heavily in anything but electric cars a bit of a nonsense. Especially as this potential move of the goalposts follows the recommendation from the House of Commons Science and Technology Committee last year that said, the government must bring forward the date of its proposed ban on the sales of new, conventional cars and vans to 2035 at the latest, and ensure that it covers hybrids too. So looks like full-on battery-powered electric vehicles then, except there are some problems with that as well. The first is that the Science and Tech Committee also said the following. Although ultra-low emissions vehicles generate very little emissions during use, their manufacture generates substantial emissions. In the long term, widespread personal vehicle ownership therefore does not appear to be compatible with significant decarbonisation. The government should not aim to achieve emissions reductions simply by replacing existing vehicles with lower emissions versions. That sounds like a limited number of vehicles being produced, leaving the rest of us, the poorest and most deprived, to fend for ourselves on foot, bicycle and crammed public transport. And I say crammed public transport because that is the only way it could possibly be energy efficient, unless you're also pedalling, of course. But it gets worse. Last year, Auto Express published an article pointing out that a team of scientists has written to the Committee of Climate Change warning that if the UK's 31.5 million cars are replaced by electric vehicles by 2050, as is currently planned by the government, this will require almost twice the current annual global supply of cobalt. Let that sink in for a moment. But further, those scientists also said that the UK would need all the world's annual production of the rare earth element neodymium, 75% of the world's lithium, and over 50% of the copper. All just for the UK. And just mining for those elements would use up the equivalent of 6% of the UK annual electrical output, they warned, with running those cars requiring a 20% increase in UK generation capacity. Powered by what, being the question. Then there's the World Economic Forum report from last year that said, Amnesty International says human rights abuses, including the use of child labour in the extraction of minerals like cobalt used to make the batteries that power electric vehicles, is undermining ethical claims about the cars. To address that properly would mean huge increases in prices for those essential elements. So I'll reread to you what the Science and Tech Committee said. In the long term, widespread personal vehicle ownership therefore does not appear to be compatible with significant decarbonisation. So, in 15 years' time, in 2035, you will probably not be able to buy a petrol or diesel car, and unless there has been a massive step change in car and battery production, you will also be unable to afford what would be a relatively rare battery-driven car. But as petrol stations close and spare parts dry up, keeping your old fossil fuel jalopy on the road will become more problematical every day. Welcome to crowded buses and trains, bicycles and shoe leather. But at least the roads will be congestion-free, for those that are powerful or rich enough to have access to them in a car of their own. It looks like we're going to have to insist on very local schools, hospitals, doctors' surgeries, food production, shops, police stations and the like to ensure our younger generation's quality of life going forward, doesn't it? Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. Anyway, what do you think about electric cars? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.